The recent adjustment in the fuel levy rates was a critical, vital, and urgent step without which the heavy investment of recent years in building new roads would ultimately prove to be largely in vain. As part of the drive to secure adequate road maintenance resources and direct them towards where they are most needed, the Ministry, through the appropriate channels and procedures, will be proposing consideration of a legislative adjustment so that a certain portion of the fuel levy, which is earmarked for rural roads, can be ring-fenced and directly prioritized by KERA for maintenance and maintenance of paved and other connector rural roads. We believe, honorable members, that the proposed refinement to the management of road maintenance fund for rural roads should it find favor and approval through the relevant procedures, will be the key to a material improvement in the maintenance of particularly paved rural roads. That was on the maintenance. On the development, honorable chair, honorable members, allow me to turn to, in March this year, this distinguished house was appraised by my predecessor about the situation at the time with regard to the development vote. It was reported that the pending bills on various projects as at 31st December 2023 was at 162 billion Kenya shillings. The updated pending bills as of June 30th, 2024 stood at 165 billion Kenya shillings. The consequences of the road project funding gap, which have been well noted by members of this House who are very well informed on the status of road projects in their respective regions. Most projects funded under the development vote are progressing much slower than they ought to be and have significant payment arrears which have built up from the year 2020 or even earlier. And while the now nullified Finance Bill 2024 had put in place substantive measures to begin to remedy the situation, we are fully cognizant of the new realities and are working closely with the National Treasury to ensure that impactful budgetary allocations are retained going forward. The main challenge, honorable members, Chair, with roads development is budget inadequacy. The average net GOK development budget ceiling in recent years averaged 55 billion Kenya shillings. As of 30th June 2024, the outstanding commitments on contracted road projects amounted to approximately 700 billion, including an outstanding bill portfolio, like I've mentioned, in pending bills of 165 billion. Therefore, with the current average net GOK annual budget ceiling allocation of 55 billion, the committed road projects would take approximately 15 years to complete. The low annual net GOK ceiling of 55 billion, honorable members, also results in thin spread of budgetary allocation to projects, which results in various negative consequences. With that background, Chair, and thank you for allowing me to go through that background, I now wish to turn to the question raised by Honorable Senator for Tharaka Nithi, Mwenda Kadhaya Mofaya. Honorable Speaker, Gataya.
Mofaya.
Thank you for that clarification.
Proceed, yes.
Let me beg to respond. The total award for the compensation of the owners of the parcels of land acquired for construction of this particular road, St. Mary's, Kinoro, Kianjuku, Bogori Road, was 115 million Kenya shillings, 115 to be more specific, 662,835. The Kenya Rural Road Authority, KERA, received 28,999,599 from the National Treasury, and dispersed the money to the National Land Commission on 12th October 2023, and we should, Speaker, that amount, the 28.9 million received for this specific road project was paid out on a priority basis starting from kilometer 0 where the road starts, which explain why some landowners have not been compensated while others have. However, the remaining balance of 86.6 million will be paid to the remaining landowners as soon as the funds are received from the National Treasury. Cognizance of my background statement, Honorable Chair, Honorable Members, will work closely with the National Treasury to ensure that budgetary provision and cash flow releases for the budget already, the budget ceiling already provided, as soon as provided, we should be able to continue the compensation. The Ministry will coordinate closely, like I've just said, with the National Land Commission to submit timely data of project-affected person to the National Treasury to enable the planning of budgeted amounts for that compensation. Honorable Chair, Honorable Members, thank you.
Is there a senator who has a specific follow-up question on the specific questions asked by Senator Mofire? If not, I would request that Senator Mofire, you ask your supplementary questions to your question.
You know, I have listened to the background, which has been prosecuted by the CS. And that background has been with us for quite some time. And I think, Madam Speaker, you know, that when funds will be available, it's a very common phrase in government circles. Madam Speaker, those people have waited for decades. So people lost their land. You know, there have been promises over promises that money will be available at this particular time. But those people, Madam Speaker, are running out of patience. And I think the CS should state categorically when these people are likely to get their dues. Because, Madam Speaker, they have marched to the relevant departments, the relevant ministries, and the answer is they will be paid when the money will be available. That is an answer, Madam Speaker, that is not bankable. And I cannot go back to the people and tell them that money will be being paid when money will be available. So I don't know what measures is the CS taking to make sure that those people are compensated. You know, those are poor people, Madam Speaker. They are people who have lost their land. They are just commoners in the village. And they have been waiting for that money for the last almost 10 years or so. So I think it's important that the CS comes out clearly and assures this House there is any measure which is supposed to be put in place to expedite this process, that these people get their dues as required.
CS?
Thank you for the supplementary question. Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I take note of Senator Mwenda's supplementary question and wish to confirm, Honorable Chair, that we will pay attention and provide priority to the ongoing projects. Very importantly, when there is a budget ceiling and a budget which we do work together between the National Treasury, Parliament, and the Ministry. And having given the background of the 2024-25 Finance Bill, which did provide for a lot of these budgetary requirements, Honorable Chair, I want to confirm that we'll closely pay attention, particularly to the compensation to the project-affected persons. I did give the background on the 7 shillings road maintenance levy additional funds, which we are working on a framework of ensuring that we deploy that prudently to be able to address some of these challenges, and particularly the project-affected persons. Because even if we were to put it to start the construction of the road and the project-affected persons on the corridor have not been compensated, it is all in vain. So let me confirm, Chair, that I'll pay attention to the ongoing projects, particularly compensation of the project affected persons, as we work through the additional road maintenance levy. We are working on a framework of securitization and seeing whether, like I said during my confirmation hearing, whether we can get a bullet payment and sort out all the outstanding pending bills. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Senator Mofaya?
Seriously, I hope now that he's trying to learn the ropes in the ministry, then I'm going to take his one seriously. Maybe in the next 3 months or so, I think I'm going to remind him. Actually, I will be visiting in office too to make sure that those people are compensated, because it's a matter that has been in this out for almost 2 years now, right? And those people have been waiting, trying to see when their money is likely to be paid. So, Madam Speaker, the CS will be reminding you now and then to make sure that those people get their money. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I seek your indulgence and advice, because looking at the questions that are being asked, they are somehow related. So instead of asking supplementary question on each question, maybe if you allow those who are listed here to ask all the questions, then later on we can come in with supplementary questions. Because I can see what Senator Gatai has asked is almost the same thing Senator Boni Kalwale will ask. So that we can have supplementary questions that are somehow combined.
Well, thank you, Senator Thangwa. I think what I had thought, that's why I said we will only allow you to ask if you have one on that specific issue. But what I'd like us to do is go through the questions, and then we will allow the rest of the members to ask the questions they have to the CS. So, Senator Khalwale. DS.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your guidance. But specifically, I have an issue on this particular road because it traverses Meru County.
Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is still on this same road. This section now, which is St. Mary's Kinoro, is in Meru County. And I am aware about the compensations. They have not been done. But more importantly, Mr. CS, Honorable CS, is the state of that road. Because in Meru County I come from, we are losing a lot of resource, as in loans. Because Mr. CS, like this Kinoro, St. Mary's Kinoro Road is a paved road, but very dilapidated, and there is no maintenance on that road. There is a lot of potholes, lack of drainage on that section. So we are losing another very important resource from Chogoria, which is traversing almost 6 constituencies from Chogoria, which is passes through Mara constituency, South Imenti, Central Imenti, up to North Imenti. This is Chogoria, Marimba, Meru Town Road. Has the same problem, Madam Speaker. Don't cut me short, Madam Speaker. This is very important, and it is right in my heart, Madam Speaker. So I'm kindly requesting whether maybe as you look for resources, whether you can be able to allocate some resources, which I've really conversed even with the ministry, the carer, and all these people. They are aware of that problem. Mr. CS, some of us even getting to our homes is a problem because the county governments are not working for us. So even drones reading to our villages, even to my house. I want to declare that 2 weeks ago, I paid some people, iron and grader, to do my road. As a senator for Meru, I was doing it when I was a member of parliament. But people in the village are crying, why you are very senior as a senator, you can't do the road nowadays. So I was forced to hire a grader to do that particular road to my house. And this is in Lekon because I've canvassed this in all the offices. They are aware of the problems you have in that county. Thank you, Madam Speaker. CS, I suggest you note that down. Once we finish the other questions, ensure to respond to
to Senator Kathuri's question. Senator Halwale, are you ready?
Yes, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I rise to ask question number 65 on the order paper that A, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a list of landowners who granted way leave for the upgrading to bitumen standard of the Shikalagala-Butere Road and indicate the respective amounts due as compensation to each? B, why has the government not yet paid out compensation to the said individuals years after the project was completed, and could the Cabinet Secretary indicate the timelines for the same?
CS.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me go straight to the responses of those two questions. I wish, Chair, honorable members, to state that a total of 326 landowners were listed for acquisition under the Gazette notice I've listed in the response number 10918 of 22nd December 2020 for the project of upgrading the Sigalagala Musoli Sabatia Butere Road to bitumen standard. The notice detailed the individual identified persons or affected persons by the project and the indicative acreage size for acquisition, a copy of the Gazette notice which we attached in the response. The National Land Commission, Honorable Chair, which is mandated to determine individual entitlements in respect of land acquisition, is yet to issue the schedule of awards for this project. Honorable Chair, the time lapse is big. Allow me to go back and find out why the National Land Commission has not responded to date and then be able to follow up because December 2020 from the time we gazetted to date is really a long time. On the second question, as a ministry, we empathize with the project affected persons following the inordinate delay in processing their compensation. The delay is due to the extended duration required to process the matter in consultation with NLC. Honorable Chair, the ministry through KERA has been in constant communication with NLC on this matter. This began with the gazettement of the affected parcel via the Gazette notice of 7 July 2017, number 6472, followed by a Gazette notice number 10918, which I did mention on the first question of 22nd December 2020, which published the corrections to the first notice and indicated dates for conducting inquiries by NLC. The ministry facilitated these processes in full and was thus awaiting issuance of award letters to the project affected persons. And the award schedule to KERA detailing compensation amounts informed the provision of funds for the same. KERA sent reminders to the Commission via a letter of 27th November. I've given the reference 2023, and another letter of 15 April 2024. Again, the reference is there and it is annexed. The National Land Commission, honorable members, Chair, wrote to the ministry on the subject in its correspondence via letter of 21st September, referenced Annex 3. Regrettably, the letter indicated a decision by the Commission to recommend degazettement or regazettement of the project due to the non-completion of the acquisition process within 24 months. A letter we have already appealed. The ministry appealed to the Commission via a letter of 26th April 24 to reconsider the decision to degazette the project and proceed to issue awards for the parcels cleared for payment as per the post-inquiry report, while the remainder of the parcels are duly processed in line with the recommendations of the report. This appeal, Honorable Chair, is in light of the distress caused by the project affected persons by the extended delay in processing their compensation. The consideration time and public resource already spent, and the desire to finalize this process. Further, it is worth considering the cooperation extended by the PAPs, the project affected persons, in allowing the full completion of the road project by 2021, much ahead of the processing of their dues. So far, we are engaging with the Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development to intervene and facilitate the fast tracking of the necessary processes to allow the eventual compensation of the project affected person for this project. And upon issuance of the award...
Yes, just hold on. Honorable members, please listen in silence. If you must consult, don't do it in loud tones, please.
Upon issuance, Honorable Chair, of the awards, the Ministry shall prioritize the settlement of this compensation at the first available opportunity, subject to the availability of the funds. I wish to confirm that, Honorable Chair, we have now received the award from NLC, totaling 50 million Kenya shillings, and we'll work very quickly and very closely with the Treasury on the budget line and start the compensation process in line with the due procedure of how to compensate. But because of that appeal, NLC has come back. They have now cleared 50 million, and I want to confirm that it's just a budgetary process and a payment process, and we'll work closely with NLC to clear this concern on this particular road. Thank you.
Senator Khalwale, do you have any supplementary question?
Madam Speaker, this question does not warrant a supplementary question, but I just would like to prick the CS. CS, the people you are talking about are not many. They are limited to only Shitori sublocation, Mkomari sublocation, Shitochi sublocation, Shivakala sublocation, and Shibuname sublocation. And Minister, I'm pricking you by telling you that the better agenda of the current government, you and I and others developed it. You and I, we are the founder members of the United Democratic Alliance. We had a vision of sorting out such a small things. Now these people are dying one by one, including a distinguished politician called Malama Itolondo, now dead. A distinguished public servant, Sakaria Bokhalash Mechero, dead. A distinguished businessman, Elijah Shitoka, dead, and many others. Please, bears, kindly use this opportunity to invite me to your office on a specific date, whether it is weeks or months. I come, you sort me out, Kenyans to feel part of the welfare of this nation.
CS.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. After this session, I will sort out a date for a cup of tea with Senator, and it's just ask for a date, and I'll do that.